Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. Wow. I mean, Bitcoin is just continuing to go up, but it moves closer to the next target level of 46.5K. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. And Bitcoin as well, Cardano as well. We talked about the level of 130 in the last few videos, moving closer to that next target here as well. And generally, of course, with Bitcoin going up, the whole market is up as well. I think it's hard to find a crypto that isn't up at all. There you go. Here this Yunus one that was doing really well in the last few days is down a little bit. But yeah, because it moved a little bit against the other cryptos, so it's now also moving against it. And that's again a little bit of a proof that cryptos don't always move in one direction. Sometimes have the comments that say, right, you only need to watch Bitcoin, then you know about the other cryptos. And that's not the case typically. It often is, to be fair, but cryptos move in their own pace, in their own waves. Certain cryptos move in similar groups, and not all cryptos are following Bitcoin necessarily in the same degree. Yes, generally the trend, yes, as well, but that is going to change at some point as well. But when a crypto starts an uptrend is different from a crypto to crypto, for example. So let's start and take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin here, yeah, in a very strong move up here in my yellow target area still. Overall, in my view, at the moment, still in this downtrend here, yeah. So we've moved up here in April in a wave 5, then came down in a wave A, then moved up in a wave B, then moving down here in a wave C. And now there are a couple of scenarios that I explained yesterday. So not going to go into them in detail here because I talked about them yesterday. I don't want to confuse people. In my view, at the moment, that's what I have to assume based on Fibonacci levels and probabilities, is that we are here in this move down still, that this is just a larger wave 4, and that we're coming down once more in a wave 5. Okay, people get very bullish at the moment. There's a huge run. We've broken above the 50-day moving average that is sitting here at 42, or at the moment at, yeah, roughly 43K. Broke above that, and we're now moving to my next target that I talked about yesterday at 46.5K. So until yesterday, we had here the 43.3K level as most likely or ideal target level for a wave 4. And Bitcoin, that is in this scenario, Bitcoin is in a wave 4 before there is a final wave 5 sell-off, okay? In a wave 4, the most likely level is that 0.382 Fib level, and that is at 43.3K. Now Bitcoin didn't really react to that level and is now moving higher. And the next level to watch out for is 46.5, yeah? It doesn't necessarily need to get there exactly to that level, but somewhere between the 43K, 43.3 and that 46.5, Bitcoin now needs to turn around. If it doesn't, we've got a different scenario, okay? So there is the period where, or this is a period where we just need to say, right, I don't know, we don't know, we just need to wait. I mean, to be fair, throughout this whole period, and we started with that in November, we talked about that we were getting into a downtrend and we were going to see lower levels throughout here, yeah? Even these moves up were forecasted, I think, quite well. And now it is really the last decision point where we really need to wait and need to see how is the price going to react in the next few days, yeah? Because the 46.5K level is the next level that we need to get to. And here we need to determine where is the price going to head to. So if the price bounces off there or before that and goes down, the chances get very high that we move into this final wave 5 that could take us into the area between 20K and 28.7K. Don't get me wrong, that is still my final or my primary view, yeah. Given that also here on the daily we are getting nearly overbought, yeah, the daily RSI. We've just moved up a lot in the last few days, and there will be a correction here shortly. If that is the correction that's going to take us down, we need to see, because what we need to see is something like that. You get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move down. Yeah, in a wave 5, consisting of 5 moves, then you can be quite certain that we are moving down here. Yeah, so if we only see here something like an ABC down, and this can be interpreted as a 5-wave move in that case, then we need to take a look at that. At the moment, it doesn't really look like it for me, like a 5-wave move. But if you get an ABC, then this is just a correction of an uptrend, of a beginning uptrend, and then you're going to go and see your next wave 5 to the upside. And then that scenario here, which we currently have on the table, is pretty much very, very unlikely. So I'm really waiting for that 46.5K level. What is the price doing there? Is it just pushing through? Then we have more space to the upside. I did explain that in the video yesterday. Then we're going to talk about an alternative scenario. This then being a wave B, a larger wave B that could go all the way up to maybe even 60K, close to the previous all-time high. That is certainly a possibility then. But for me, that would still only be a corrective wave. It would still only be corrective. It would not at all be impulsive, and I would still believe that even if we then have more space to the upside and move higher, we're going to come down still here shortly. But for that purpose, buy orders were triggered for various cryptos on the way down here, sort of in this range. And on this channel, we are prepared for this scenario as well. And what I would then consider to do somewhere up here, maybe take some profits before it then goes down again. But at the moment, I'm not taking profits. I'm going to wait. I want to see how does the price react to this 46.5K level, because the chances are still very high that we are going down here. And to be fair, all it is doing now is moving still within the frame of this scenario. Yes, it's making it very exciting, very interesting, but now I'm watching out for this 46.5K level. Let's look at Cardano. What is Cardano doing? Cardano is following finally. Not finally, because it has been following anyway, but now that Bitcoin is moving up, Cardano is moving up as well, continues to move up here on this ascending trend line that we talked about. After the breakout here of this triangle, started to move up here and broke through the 20-day moving average at $1.12 and is continuing to move up on this trend line. If I now move the trend line here just a little bit, you can see that it's overextending away from the trend line. And at some point we are going to see here resistance. Well, we're seeing it now actually. That's what I said yesterday. If you get to the 50-day moving average here at around 124, you're going to see some resistance, especially as, for example, on the 4-hour chart, you can see that here Cardano is overbought. If we are going to the 8-hour, it's overbought now as well. So it's naturally going to have problems to push through there. Good news is for Cardano that on the daily, we are now above the 50 line, on the RSI. That's a very important breakout level. Now, in this whole correction here since September, Cardano has been below the 50 line. The 3 peaks here were all basically fake outs, you could call them. But the 50 line is clearly here a separation between a nice move up and just continuing sideways movement or move down. So the 50 line is significant for Cardano, and what we now need to wait for is how does the price move on. In my view, it's gonna follow Bitcoin, so it all depends on what is Bitcoin doing in this current move. It's hard to talk about Cardano on its own because Cardano is perfectly following Bitcoin at the moment. We can take a look here on the ADA BTC chart. You can see how ADA is just moving sideways on ADA BTC. So this is just moving sideways. So basically Cardano is pretty much perfectly following Bitcoin here at the moment. Maybe a little bit outperforming Bitcoin. It's a little bit going up, but generally on the ADA BTC chart, we can see that ADA is just following Bitcoin. So I think ADA is also going to follow Bitcoin in the next move up or the next move down, depending on what Bitcoin is going to do. I did talk about the possibility that Bitcoin still is here in the wave 4 and Cardano has already seen the wave 4 and is therefore going down here, coming up now for basically this sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's getting interesting for Cardano. I mean, we talked about that 130 level, For 130 being here the breakout out of that triangle, then technical target of that to the upside would be 130. We haven't quite reached it. Two more resistances here for Cardano that are extremely interesting. First one is currently here at 125, where Cardano is now struggling to get through the 50-day moving average, and the next one will be here at around 137, which will be the top or the resistance level of that channel, the descending channel in which Cardano is trading. And then we have the 160 level to get through. 160 is that previous high here. Only when we make really a higher high, that downtrend would be for now invalidated, because what you could see here in this one, as I said, in this pattern is this, yeah, as part of the wave 5. You get your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the wave 2 is not allowed to move higher than the beginning of it. Yeah, so that would first of all invalidate this downtrending pattern. Yeah, very interesting week as well. Currently Bitcoin retracing, that is what I'd be looking out for if Bitcoin sees a strong reaction, you know, but at the moment that's not strong enough. It's normal because Bitcoin again is overbought. Things I'm looking out for now is a bearish divergence, for example, maybe seeing a weak one here currently on the 1 hour, but that is not too meaningful. But we see a beginning of a bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart, indicating a potential turnaround, but it's far too early because on the 4 hour chart we can't see a bearish divergence yet. Yeah, the RSI is just pushing higher. What you would want to see is higher, you can see basically here higher highs on the price, but lower highs on the RSI. But we can't see it yet on the 4 hour chart for Bitcoin, but we see a fairly long wick to the upside now, indicating that, yeah, there is a reaction here to, yeah, this move up, and as we get closer to that 46.5K level. So really a time to wait at the moment, to be patient, to see how is the price going to react to that level. At the moment, it's all going according to plan within this scenario, really. I would have loved to see a stronger reaction to 43.3K, but yeah, it is what it is. So we're moving still further up, and all of this, what we're doing now, is still a possibility in the current scenario. Only when we break above 46.5, I would want to talk in more detail about this alternative scenario. But even that one would, in my view, only be a correction, but it would extend the whole process. All right, hopefully you liked the update about Bitcoin and Cardano. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, maybe consider to join as a channel member. And you can do that on YouTube or here on my website. And for that, you can find a link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.